Hello, everyone, including all the aliens out there. I'm here online with Logan Ludwig, creator of For Alien Eyes Only, just a puppet show on YouTube. Logan, how are you?
I'm just great. How are you?
Good, good. I'm keeping warm. We've already had a conversation about I think America beats the cold competition today. But
Right, right.
I wanted to say that this, for me, 2026 has been about engaging with artists. Use the phrase with an indie following, with not necessarily, yeah, an indie following. I've
Mhm.
also, you're the first interview of the year. I'm also planning to speak with Begonia. Not sure if you've heard of her. She's a Canadian singer.
Right on.
Amazing. Yeah, for me, it's maybe an interview a month would be something I'm trying to work on. I've done a lot of journalism, but I'm also trying to work on my own artistic stuff as
Mhm.
well at the same
Yeah,
time.
as you
Um,
should.
yeah, yeah, thank you. And dare I say you've inspired me to, you know, to to consider other mediums, consider other means. My focus is video, performance art, and piano. So
Mhm.
I'm trying to I'm trying to work on those, and also more. I'm trying to be more open about what
Yeah,
people can create.
yeah.
Um, I checking the notes. I I gave you a. We spoke about this. I gave you a shout out on Trick or Treat Radio last night.
Mhm.
They're a podcast and horror and pop culture podcast. They've been going for yonks. Shout out to them. And they did check out For Alien Eyes Only. They watched a little, but they only played the audio of episode 4.
Mhm.
I was going to say, oh guys, come on, pop it on for a little bit longer. You
Right.
know, they're keen. They're very keen. I think you've got some converts there,
Oh,
so
nice. Well,
that's
thanks.
For Alien Eyes Only came up on my feed. I think there are times I am glad of the algorithm
Mhm.
on YouTube. Um, I bookmark it, and I think it was a couple of days later. I did actually watch the first episode back in. This would have been August, September. Our correspondence goes back since August, and I think it
Mhm.
was I think I emailed you maybe at the end of August, and it's probably the biggest thread of emails I've had. Most are from me. The biggest, just asking for songs and copies of songs and things, and yeah, you've been very warm and open, and I've greatly appreciated the back and forth. I've
Yeah,
appreciated
of
it.
course. Well, I love meeting people through the show. And I love the support, so I'm always happy to link up with people.
Well, my first big question is, this is very informal. This isn't, you're not being grilled, so to speak. You
Okay.
know.
Well, I'm open to that too. I mean,
Okay. Where did the idea
uh,
come from for Alien Eyes Only?
hmm. Um, it came around like fall of 2024. Um, I was making a sketch show at the time with a band I was in, a rock band.
Okay.
And so that was like something, it was like a sketch variety show. And so that kind of just unlocked that I do like to film a lot. I do like to write. And I thought, sketch shows are so, you know, there's so many, and they have some of them have very distinct tones, but some of them it's a very, um, you know, it's just very what you see is what you get
Sure.
when it comes to those. And so I wanted to do a show that was definitely comedy, and I wanted to do a show that could be about anything, much like sketch shows. If you think of a funny idea, we can do it. It doesn't have to work in this narrative. But I wasn't interested in making just one and another one of, the hundreds of thousands of sketch shows. So I wanted to make something that could be as broad, talking about, Earth or life. And I thought, well, how do you make that interesting? And then just one day it clicked. I was like, explain it to people that aren't from here. And then this kind of, I guess, satirical elements will come through because we are from here. And so it becomes a show not maybe for, you know, aliens, but for people who feel like aliens on their planet. And so it's very observational comedy. It's very, um, you know, it's just so I want that's how it started basically. And
Okay.
I've always been obsessed with space, and the Voyager has been very fascinating to me. I
Ah,
thought, what if they just put a TV show on there and just sort of said, this is a gift from Earth. We made a whole, and then certain elements like the puppets, it was like, well, humans might be a little scary to them. Let's do these kind of felt cute puppets. And then it's also, what do we know about education and television? And they tap into children's programming. And so it's like everything's very intentional in this world of um, the show.
okay. Logan, what's it like being a puppeteer?
Uh, Rolling at times, extremely painful on the arms and the
Uh,
abs and the Um, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it a lot. I am extremely camera shy. And so if I'm off camera with someone else, all of a sudden I don't feel like I'm on camera and I'm watching myself. And then I can be super over the top like you would with Spoon or maybe Grandpa Earth. Um, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just like it.
okay.
I just like it.
When did you know you wanted to be a puppeteer?
Um, hmm. Maybe sometime in college. I mean, I grew up with Sesame Street. My grandma had like all the VHSs. I think if I well, there's a big bird behind me that I got off eBay. It's
Ah,
like a cardboard cutout that I'm, you
I
know.
think I've seen it on your Instagram. Yeah, I think.
Yes. Yes, it's hard to miss. Um, and so that was always a little bit embedded in me. And then in high school, I got pretty into the Muppets. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I feel like they had like a when I was in middle school or high school, they had that big resurgence in 2011 and 2013 with the new movies. And so that's when I started to watch old clips on YouTube of the Muppet Show, and I
yeah.
was like, okay,
It's a
this is
it's amazing how back in fashion. Like,
mm-hmm.
I was just having a conversation with my mum. My sister is a little bit older than me. We were just debating. She had a Muppets birthday party when she was quite young. We were just trying to understand what was the year. I'm not going to go into years, but yeah, it's just that like the mini skirt, they are back in fashion quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yep. They almost never go out. They almost never go out.
Never
Um,
a fad, never a fad.
yes. Yes. And so yeah, that unlocked something for me. And then sometime in college or maybe post college, I wanted to do a project with music and puppets. And so I kind of started to do that with a band I was in where we'd bring puppets on stage and they would sing some songs. And these were usually puppets that I got at like estate sales or off eBay and like were really raggedy. And then you could kind of either modify them or just use them as is. And so puppeteering, I was always building puppets and failing miserably because it's really hard. And so it wasn't until I met some people here who were in the puppet scene, which or I'm not from Chicago. I live in Chicago now, and there's a huge puppet community here.
Okay,
And
okay,
yeah, it's surprising. I mean, it just keeps going and going. And someone I met who works on the show, Jackie, kind of made um, it real for me. Jackie Smook. I
nice.
knew she was a puppeteer and I knew she was a builder. And she was trying to get a show she was making off the ground here. And so we got coffee and kind of hit it off. And then one day I showed her my terrible drawings of scribbles and spoon. And she designed exactly what was in my head. And all of a sudden it
Uh,
just became a real thing. And overnight it was like, okay, I have puppets. I'm using them on camera. I'm a puppeteer.
it manifested. Yeah,
It really did, yeah.
nice. Okay, what cameras do you use for the show?
I have no idea.
I'm not much of a
That's the
camera
wrong
guy.
guy.
Yeah, I'm not much of most of the video work I do is usually on my phone, but I
Yeah.
wanted to know more about cameras and because they look nice.
Yeah.
They do look good. Yeah.
I think that's a lot of Evan Hansen who works on the show. He colors everything, color grades it, and just makes. I mean, you could shoot on a potato and he would make it look great. And so I one of them is like some sort of black magic camera. Um, I don't know what that means. They just that's what they said. Charlie and
That's what
Evan
they
say.
call it, right?
Yeah, like, oh, it's this Sony XSVH Black Magic something. It's a string of letters and numbers.
4897 GX90
Yes, yes. I
101.
believe,
Yeah.
right. We only have two cameras. I believe one Charlie got through his school, like an auction. They were just getting rid of old equipment. And then Evan, yeah, I think it's they aren't like the nicest cameras. They're nice, but they're like more what indie people can afford.
Okay. When did you know you wanted to be a puppeteer?
Um, Probably. Well, I feel like I just wait. Did you ask me that already?
Uh, or what's it like being a puppeteer? I think
That's right.
I only
I feel like I
realized.
answered. I answered. I didn't want to
Okay.
repeat myself by accident. Or maybe I did. Or
Was
there was
there a
something
click
about.
moment? Was there kind of like a professionally, like an aspiration that just kind of something that, yeah, I mean, I don't know your age and I wouldn't ask, but
You can.
what's your
I'll
age?
answer. I'm 27.
Okay. I'm not going to say mine.
27. You don't have to. Age,
Okay.
they don't matter. They don't matter.
Age is just a construct, man, you know?
It really is, man. Um,
Okay.
I would say the click moment was definitely just like knowing that I could get on camera without feeling like all the eyes were on me, all the looks were on me. That was the click me moment when we were filming something. It wasn't for Alien Eyes, it was something early on with puppets that I'm off camera, everyone's looking at the puppet, and all of a sudden it just takes all the pressure off and I can have fun and perform. And I was like, this is something that I have to run towards. Also, their charisma. Like, if you take a puppet out in the wild, we've shot stuff outside, and
Yeah.
I'm just holding Grandpa Earth like limp, like upside down. And people are like, like they have.
Yeah.
There's
But you
something
could
about
you can
puppets.
you can see that during when you film,
Hmm.
particularly in the fourth episode, that you do get a few reactions from people that are they're quite fun.
Yeah, I think people. It speaks to their inner child for sure.
It unlocks something, I think. I think
Yeah.
that for me, it's been more. I'm not a puppeteer myself, but when you go into a performance, per se, an acting thing, it is that mirror, and there's a detachment, and I
Hmm.
suppose with a puppet, it's a physical detachment.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's something I'd like to consider for the future is working. I don't think I'd have the patience to stitch felt.
Oh
So,
no. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the
it's this.
skill.
This is why I'm
Yeah.
not an animator either. As much as I really would like to be
Yeah.
lazy, I'm lazy.
Hmm. I am too.
I wanted to ask, this might be a little bit more personal, but I noticed one of the episodes is dedicated to a Delaware girl.
Yes, that is a dog of mine that I grew up with who had passed away like maybe 3 or 4 months before we started filming that, and I was like, seems appropriate to just
That's sweet.
throw a dog a bone.
Is that the
It
one
was
I've seen
very.
on Instagram? Is that the one?
That's Dash.
Oh,
I've got a tattoo of Dash because
oh, sweet.
I pick favorites with dogs. I've got to say, I love Delaware Girl, but Dash is tattoo worthy.
Oh, that's very sweet. I've never really had a dog, but I hope to one day.
Hmm.
Right, I'll just check my notes. I wanted to speak about the songs in the show. I also clocked that you were on SoundCloud. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I
Ha
wonder if that's.
Go on, yeah, go on. Sorry, go on.
No, no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Um, yeah, a little bit of research a couple of months ago. I just clocked you were on there.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I just, I wanted to, yeah, I'm not, well, the main question is how do you go about songwriting?
Hmm. Um, well, yeah, that's interesting. The SoundCloud. I wonder what's on there. Probably stuff I'm embarrassed of now.
A retro
Um,
cut.
yeah, exactly. The rarities. Well, for the show, gosh, it depends. I mean, I write on the piano a lot. I write on the guitar as well. Um, with the show, it's pretty, I like knowing what I'm going to write before I write it. So, like, if the episode's about wrong numbers, um, that gives me something to work with. But writing from scratch is maybe a little bit harder. But yeah, I think it happens pretty fast. I sit down at the piano and your brain will write things that you didn't even know, you could think of. It just kind of gets typed. It's a really weird and cool thing, songwriting. But in my experience, you can only do it when you don't feel like working on it. Or when you, yes, because if you want to work on it and you sit down, you say, I'm going to write a song, it never happens.
It
Almost
becomes
never.
work then, doesn't it? It's like,
Yes.
oh, this is what I've got to,
Yeah, but if you
yeah.
just sit down at the piano and just mess around, which is how I got the song from the first episode, because that last song about Earth being perfect wasn't even going to be in there, but I was just
It's
like,
great. It's such a, yeah, I'll come on to that into further questions about the undercurrent of the show. What's
mhm.
yeah, almost a conspiracy. It's sort of this kind of the
Yeah.
iceberg of, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll come on. I'll pop a pin in that. And
Yes,
I suppose
please.
my notes here just say nostalgia, VHS analog horror, and I also put 2016 is back. Now I suppose that's three sort of little notes I took.
Hmm.
Your go on. Sorry, yeah, carry
I
on.
was just gonna say, like, nostalgia for sure. That's exactly what I want. I think I'm a very nostalgic person, in a good way. I feel like people
Yeah.
feel like that's living in the past, but that they got it all wrong, man. I think, I think, I don't know. I think there's a sort of, you know, beauty into hanging on to that inner child and especially if like things make you feel nostalgic and now in a positive way, like you know, that's really all you could ask for.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
also put
think, yeah.
2016 is back. I think that's more of a Facebook trend about sharing pictures from 10 years ago. I don't really,
Yes.
that's a bit of a
I was
no-no.
gonna say 20, I don't remember 2016 being a great year for me.
No, it wasn't particularly for me either. And I think there's, on a national and international level, it was also a particularly
Yeah.
rough year. And
Oh yeah. Oh,
we're
I
not gonna,
remember now. Yeah, that rings a bell.
well, I
That
suppose
reminded me though, um, of a Ringo Starr quote I like a lot, where he says that he was born nostalgic.
I like that. Yeah.
That's yeah.
Peace and love, peace and love. Yeah.
Love
This is a serious message, but yeah,
no
I do
more
remember
fan
that old.
mail.
I'm warning you with peace and I can't. I'm not very good at
We
Ringo,
need to get
but
warned with peace and love more often from people
I
that aren't
suppose
just Ringo.
I clocked in. I believe it's the second episode, or is it the third? Sorry, there's a Packard Bell computer that brought back a lot
Mhm.
of memories because that was my first PC, um,
Yeah.
and that did sort of a flood of. I'm thinking back to the old CD-ROMs.
Hmm.
I noticed someone, but there's a Blockbuster card, I think, in the opening credits.
Yep. Yeah. There
And
was, yeah, like maybe, oh gosh, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I wanted to, this is me chasing nostalgia again. I wanted to replay all the CD-ROMs I liked from my childhood. So I got one of those setups. And yeah, it was just so loud when it booted up. The fan was like, sounds like it dies every time you boot it up. And I played. a bunch of the like point and clicks and CD-ROMs that I did growing up, and then of course we used it in the show. So
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those.
You made me learn something, which was pajama sound free. You are what you eat from your head to your feet. I don't know if that was a UK release, but that.
I hope it was.
I also put Mavis Beacom. That was his. I think I've still got
Hmm.
the CD. What Mavis Beacom Touch Typing. That might be more of a deeper. The documentary
Yeah.
was laid. It was a. They used a lady of color on the poster, and
Hmm.
a documentary was we're trying to find the real woman, and apparently she was a fabrication. And
Oh,
it's all of
really?
this era. It's all the CD. I didn't do touch typing. I did it in school, but yeah, I all these random notes of kind of all clumped together. I'm thinking of Tomb Raider, and I'm thinking of
Mhm.
what else were the CD-ROMs?
I was playing.
I've still got them all. I still
Yeah, I've got a lot of them.
I
I
did. Go on. Sorry. Go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say that I sold one of my like one of the old PC setups just because I wasn't using it, and I threw in a bunch of games, and he was like the guy that was picking them up, he's like SpongeBob Employee of the Month, like Nicktoons Racing. He was like, I think I'm gonna pass on these, and I was like, oh yeah, no, they were my kids,
Is that what he
you
said?
know.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like, "Are these for children?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I think so." I don't even. Yeah. Oh, I didn't play these actually. I just tried to play it off,
yeah.
and
This
then he
was
gave them back.
Timmy's. This was little
Yeah,
Timmy's, little Sonny
exactly.
Jim's.
Hmm. And so
I
I
think
just
that
played it off.
I think that also ties into a whole thing about what is conversation I've had with my mum and other people. You know, a piece of animation isn't necessarily for what a piece of animation is perceived. All puppetry is perceived to be for children. You know,
Hmm.
I'm thinking of another YouTube hit was "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared."
Hmm.
The British made one, which got a Channel 4 release, was actually got on the mainstream.
Hmm.
Thinking about it, there's Waltz with Bashir, which was a rotoscoped animation about an Israeli soldier. That is
Yeah.
not for children, you know. And I'm trying to think of other things off the top of my head, but yeah, there was another British animation called Stressed Eric. I don't know if you know it.
I haven't heard that
They also did an American dub, bizarrely,
one.
and they got who's the guy who was Apu in The Simpsons? They got him to be the lead. They got him to be Eric.
Hank Azaria, I think. Azaria is his name.
They changed all the cultural. The only reason I realized it was for adults when the Portuguese au pair says twat. That was the
Hmm.
only time I thought this is a
Yeah.
kids show because it was on
Yeah.
YouTube. I thought this is very clearly for children.
Right.
But you just hear that, and not dissimilar to the end of your third episode of For Alien Eyes. It was, we're coming into language. You know, a little blue, a little the whole
Yeah.
scene with the laptop, which is probably one of my favorites actually.
Well, you raise a great point, especially with puppetry. I think it's very um, I don't like people that make very general assumptions, all right? I
Oh,
don't
no,
like
no,
what
no,
they
no.
do, and so if someone sees a puppet and they're like, "Oh, it's a kid's show," I just feel like that's just like that's we need to think outside of the box a little here. And one of the things that I wanted to get with this show is if you look at a show like The Simpsons, that was in sort of the start of the era of when cartoons became more adult oriented, but they weren't adult for the sake of being adult. They just happened to have been a cartoon that
It
was
was
written by
prime
adults.
time, and it was
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
so that's the thing. Like there are a lot of puppet shows that their whole shtick is looking like a kid's show, but being really farce and out there. And I think that wears off pretty fast. And I wanted this to be a puppet show that just happened to have been maybe catered towards adults. It uses puppetry in a similar way to The Simpsons. Nobody, it's not based solely on the shock value of these
No,
cute,
no, no,
colorful
no.
characters. And so I don't see enough of that. I feel like a lot of people
An
um,
over reliance on violence. It sounds like
with
Family
the
Guy now, doesn't it?
bounce,
Sexual,
yeah,
yeah.
bouncing off the juxtaposition of, oh, this has this sort of look. puppets and kids show, and I think there needs to be more puppet shows that just happen. They're not extremely farce, but they're also not super safe. They just were written in a way, and it happened to have used puppets.
I think, if you don't mind me saying, I think you've got with your what you'll do. I think you've got the balance just right. I think it's an equal temperament. That's a
I don't
classical.
mind you saying that.
Say again.
I said I don't mind you saying that
I think
at
yeah,
all.
and I just so maybe in internet culture there has been a weird for the sake of weird, shock for the sake of shock,
Hmm.
which isn't necessarily always potent, isn't necessarily doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not going to list things that that is my focus when I'm not reviewing cla- classical music and opera. I do film and TV, and the focus is animation and avant-garde. And
Hmm.
I'm trying to, I'm always on the quest for the balance, and I think it works with your show, and I think there are a few other exceptions, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's the balance. It is
Yeah,
the balance.
it really is. And I think, when I was pitching the show a lot, because I was pitching the show before I made it, I was trying to get it on TV and
Really, really.
yeah, lots of passes,
Oh,
which who's laughing now? We have 30 whatever thousand subscribers, so we're
which is
basically
great, and I think that the viewing figures are criminally under. It needs to be
well,
more. I'm.
yeah, maybe we're
I,
not ready.
they weren't ready for
Maybe.
the. Oh,
But yeah, even when I was pitching the show, I would start with the premise. I'd say, this mysterious box was found on this planet, and inside was VHS tapes and a TV, and so it happened to have been this show from Earth, and it's a puppet show. And then right away they'd be like, "But is it a kid show? I thought you said it was an adult show." I'm like, "It is an adult show," and they're like, "Oh, but there's puppets." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, huh. Like they just could not wrap their minds around.
right,
I'm like, what if it just happened to have puppets? And then I kind of explained why there's puppets too, but um yeah, it's been nice that people have just kind of got it right off the bat.
right.
So,
Logan, they've. Sorry about this. Thing at time. I got on my time. I've got 10 minutes left on the.
yeah,
I'm wondering if they it ends and then maybe we can pop in and out of the meeting again.
it'll it'll end and then I can send an invite and I'll have 45 minutes
Okay,
on
yeah,
my end.
I think that
That's
should
what
be
I've done in the past. So we can
excellent.
just pick up after on and I'll start the call.
I mean, Zoom did so well after lockdown, and it's like this
They
wasn't the
got
case.
greedy. They
Oh,
do.
I'm getting angry, man.
Yeah.
No, no. Um, perhaps on my end of things, maybe if I just ask maybe one or two more questions on my end of the Zoom.
Hmm.
Can you give us a cheeky preview of what we can expect from episode 5?
Cheeky preview. Yeah, I probably could, but you'll have to
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if I grabbed the best one. I hope so. But this is a puppet I made. I'm gonna have to probably turn off.
I see it.
the-
I see it. A
He's
beer
he's
keller.
yes, exactly. And he's got his nice tuxedo, and this is how he talks. He just lifts the lid.
Okay.
Um,
That's great.
and
That's
he's in a
great.
group. They're kind of a beer shop quartet, and they sing about beer. So,
Oh, that's
so that's
great.
my cheeky preview. Uh,
That is the cheeky preview.
Yes, I would tell you what it was, but that wouldn't be very cheeky. I think just showing the puppet and um, having him sing is
Amazing.
just enough of a tease.
So a barbershop quartet with beer kellers, is
Hmm.
that's the okay. And you've got the harmony. The balance of the show is just right. No doubt you've got the harmonies just right.
Hmm.
Okay.
Sure do.
Okay. I'll ask one more on my end, just so it doesn't flippity flippity with the time on Zoom,
Mhm.
come on, Zoom. Um, do you have a favorite mockumentary?
Oh, that's a good question.
Top three.
Um, Favorite mockumentary? Oh, I wish I could say that one, but that's not really a mockumentary. I maybe Arrested Development.
I've
That's
only seen the pilot, but yeah, I'm ashamed
that
to say, sorry.
that no, that's okay. It's pretty high up there for me. I'm definitely gonna remember um a few later and beat myself up, but I think Arrested Development, that'll be my answer today.
Okay, excellent. How many seasons was that? It was,
It was three on cable, and then Netflix picked it up years later, but I never saw the reboot. I don't
there was a
well,
reboot. I didn't know there was a reboot.
yeah, they brought everyone back, but nobody was like available to film together, so there are all these plots. Or there, and I even think there's moments where they're like there's just like talking, and then on the other side of the room, it's the other guy, and it's like
Yeah,
it's just
over the shoulder
yeah,
type.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's never it feels very cold and distant. But I think the Arrested Development hardcore fans would tell me I'm being a hater right now.
Oh. Maybe I could. I got 5 minutes on my end. It's like this is like Sonic. I can hear the music with Sonic when he's in the water.
Hmm.
The rush, rush.
Hmm.
Um, I've also been admiring the fan art. I'd like to work on something myself. Um, how do people send things to you? If I can ask that on
Via fan art or just anything.
fan art or well within
Most
re.
people, most people most people email me on Scribbles Productions the way you did.
Hmm.
Some people DM me on Instagram, but those are the two big ones.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Yeah, I've got 5 minutes left on my end. How
You
short?
want me to start a new one, or do you want to ride the 5 minutes out?
I do have quite a few more. I do have quite a few more questions. I've been
Let's
itching to
let's
ask you.
well, let's get a fresh start.
Okay,
I'll send you a new link, and then you can join that
great.
one. All right. See you in a sec.
Okay, see you in a sec. Stand by.
See, okay, I'm gonna. Do you want to record two or?
Yeah, I'm gonna request to record this computer. Sending request to you.
I'm approving that request.
I can't believe my luck. That's great. Uh,
I'm in a good mood, so I'll approve today.
thanks. Right. The little red it didn't I didn't hear recording in progress, but the little red lights come up. So that's yeah.
That's a good sign.
Okay, well that brief intermission, that um um in our email correspondence, I believe you stated there could be potentially up to 30 to 40 episodes.
Mm-hmm. If my dreams come true. I
Okay.
think this would be a beautiful 40. I've changed since then. I think that this would be a beautiful 40 to 50 episode show. Um, it's sad to think that we're already 5/50ths of the way through, but we've got a lot left. And so, yeah, I would love to do like maybe 5 season, 10 episodes, something like that. But that all depends on how, how this whole thing maps out. They can be a little difficult to make at the current um, position
Situation.
we're in. Situation.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, to put it lightly, yeah.
Yes.
I've had my YouTube channel for almost 20 years, and that's a modest. I suppose this is really the first journalistic sort of engagement on it. But I've done film and opera and film. stage reviews for nearly 15 years, but it's nice to. This is what I discussed with an editor. It was like just trying to. I wanted it live, you know. I mean, as much as I'm late, you know, we spoke about laziness. I don't think I've got the patience to do a transcript.
Yeah.
And you know, you're a content creator. You're a, you know, you're an artist, and I wanted it to be the energy of the moment, you know.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah.
Uh, this probably goes back to what you were saying earlier. I wrote down last night, have you considered doing a live show of?
Yes. I think that would be epic. I would love to do that. I'd love to frame it as like take the bodies of humans and come visit our planet and pretend that you're a human. And so everyone that shows up to the live show is basically an alien wearing human skin.
Okay.
Um, so that's the way I'd love to frame it. Like we want to do a tape live, come down to Earth, meet up. I haven't decided what that would be, but I've given it at least that much thought, at least how to explain um, in the world of the show. However, though, I think we could do a live show with humans that are for the aliens. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
There's possibilities.
yeah,
There's
but I do think that would be fun. I do think that would be a lot of fun.
okay. I'm not 100% sure if I actually saw it, but are you selling merchandise? Are you
Mhm.
selling merch?
We got a merch store.
I'm sure I tried to find it on YouTube. I think you might have put it up on Instagram, but I didn't check Instagram.
Yeah, it's on like our YouTube page now. If you go to there's like a store
Oh,
tab, and then you can see all the stuff there. Right now, it's just t-shirts and they're nice t-shirts though. They're like a brand that I like a lot. There's also mugs. I'm a big mug guy. I got my
yeah,
beaker
of course.
beaker mug right here.
You're talking to a coffee and a tea drinker, so
Yes. Yes.
I I like smoke, yeah.
Um, and I think there's a canvas art that's pretty cool too. It says like for alien bedrooms only. You're supposed to hang it in your bedroom.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
but I want to, I mean, ideally one of these days get some like plushes of the character. That would be great.
Okay, okay. It's a little change of going away from the show for a minute. What is a song or album you are really into at the moment?
An album I'm into at the moment. Um, oh, wow. Well, I just got a cassette player because like a little boombox cassette thing because
Yeah,
I had a vinyl player and I wasn't using it very much, and so I was back home for the holidays recently, and my friend was using one, and I got really jealous. I thought it was very cool. So I got a cassette player and I got a John Denver like lot, like somebody had a big John Denver collection. I didn't really listen to him that much except for maybe like his Muppet Christmas album and then the hits on the radio. And I've been listening to his albums pretty often, back home again for sure. I also watched the this biopic on Loretta Lynn from 1979, I think, called
okay.
um, Coal Miner's Daughter. And I love Loretta
Oh,
Lynn
yeah.
and her music, but I've been listening to that soundtrack and like those versions of the songs a lot. So those two albums have just been nonstop repeat for me.
With oh she didn't she was Carrie.
Yeah, Sissy Spacek.
Yeah. Now I know Patsy Cline is a character in that film. That's probably
Hmm.
one of my favorite singers. That's
Really? Right
yeah,
on.
yeah, absolutely. There's kind of a country scene in Wales. Several Welsh speaking bands and singers did actually do a country style.
Hmm.
It's a little bit surreal, but it's great fun. And
Nice.
I think for me, Patsy is a premium. I can't get enough of that voice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I know they did a biopic of her with Jessica. Oh, with Jessica Lange. was it Jessica Lange, and I know
Yeah.
that she's a character in The Coal Miner's Daughter, and
Yeah, she's
yeah,
played by Beverly D'Angelo in Coal Miner's Daughter,
that's
and
it.
it's an amazing performance. And so I did check out Patsy, the songs of hers that I didn't know after that movie, and now I am also a big Patsy Cline fan.
But apparently, there's still unrecorded albums with Patsy Cline because the guitarist she worked with, the family have the records and they won't release them. And
Hmm.
I mean, she died 1963,
Yeah.
and it's I'm a yeah, I try and be as open when it comes to music as possible, and I believe I do believe in a broad taste as does go far.
Yeah,
I don't
definitely.
expect I don't expect a lot of people to be interested in opera, but yeah, no, I think yeah, Patsy and John Denver, I don't know well enough. I think that may be something I need to explore.
Yeah, I think it has its moments. I like a lot of like I mean there's the music that I love that's like very intense. You got to be in the mood to listen to it, not because it's intense music, just because it's music that you maybe hold very dear to you, and it's not um, an entertainer in the way John Denver was, which I love, people like that. But um, so stuff like John Denver, it's kind of like cheesy in a very good, endearing way, where it doesn't feel like heavy listening. Um,
Yeah.
and that's why I've been listening to him a lot.
Okay. Okay. Thank you
I've
for
been
that.
watching his TV specials. Like I miss TV specials. Like they
I'm
used to just
writing
grab
notes. I'm typing notes
these
as we go.
like these musical personalities at the time, especially the country singers. They would just give him an hour on primetime TV and just be like, do whatever you want. And he had a bunch, and I just that's something that I feel like we're missing. Those are really funny. But then again, I don't even know who today we'd want to.
On Denver, third recommendation. Okay, thank you. My notes are very sporadic, so I suppose we're back into the show a minute. I think some of my favorite characters in For Alien Eyes Only might be the show. Actually, that does actually tie into, we're talking about retro.
Hmm.
For I suppose for a British audience of a certain age, they would see that and think it was a nod to the Andrew sisters.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd care to maybe elaborate on
Well, yeah, I also like the Tammy Trio. Um, they are inspired by there used to be something called Stars on 45 where they had these 45-inch records and they were often medleys of hits at either the time or just in general. And one of the things that they did, they made a group called the Star Sisters, and it's three, female singing group. They look very similar to the Tammy Trio, just not, terrifying. Um, as some people say, I think the Tammy Trio is cute. Um, but they did a medley of Andrew's sisters' songs and like songs from that era. And
yeah,
they kind of had like big 80s production, like drums on it. And I just like that song I would listen to so much.
maybe
Um,
there's a touch of the Cordettes to them. Is it
yeah. Yeah. Well, I want them,
Sandman?
yeah. Yeah. I want them to be able to do stuff like that too. But they are very much well they package those groups so much that they might as well have just been like it's like they wanted them to be this kind of three-headed monster, like they were always together, they're always pushed to share one microphone. It's like so I thought, what if they were this sort of like shared entity and they're
Conjoined
all
triplets. There's like a touch of
exactly
Greek. There's a touch of Greek about it, wasn't it? The dog, the three-headed, is also
yes
in
yes
Harry
there's
Potter.
mhm. And there's three-headed dragons too. That was kind of the inspiration for them.
Okay, okay. I noticed. I remember I was staying at my brother's watching the fourth episode of For Alien Eyes Only. I noted that the budget, if I may say, the budget seemed to have increased. Um,
Yeah, we noticed that too.
about dating. Yeah, I'm going about I'm my notes here. You note, yeah. There should be a question attached to that. I guess I don't really have one, but
I think,
yeah, you know,
yeah.
yeah. Do you want to expand on?
Well, maybe the production value goes up a little bit each episode, is what I'm seeing people say. I mean, it doesn't feel like we're doing anything differently. I think the main thing that kind of shocked all of us was Charlie, who plays Charlie in the dating episode. He films, he's puppeteered on the show a lot. He's done he produces. He's just a huge, you know, um, just huge creative asset to the show.
Mm,
Good friend. But he said, I said I want to do something like the dating show from the 70s where,
yeah,
there's three bachelors behind this door. And
blind dates and yeah,
yes, and
yeah,
so he showed up at my house with three. He's a kind of a handy guy. He's got a van and he's got his own art space, and he's just one of those people that knows how to do stuff. I've like it's very just you say something, then he'll do it. And I'm like, where did you even get that skill? It's just and so he showed up at my house with three 8 by 10 wooden flats, and then he had all these cutouts that were, like the flowers and the human love date text,
yeah,
wooden, and
yeah.
he printed them out or something, and then he had
So
this
he
giant.
did he build all the sets?
He built the set for that one. I built the miniature set with the in the park with the fingers. Um,
The little, yeah, the
I'm not
little,
sure
yeah.
that's worth bragging about, but
So
I
it's,
did.
it's just that.
Yes, but I did
Yeah.
build that one. But he did that, and he also did the like dating where they're on a date. It's the curtain and the tables and stuff. So, but yeah, he showed up in my house and he had the lights too figured out somehow. And I just was thinking like, yeah, people are about to be like, wow, they got the production value really up on this episode. I'm like, we don't do anything different. We just kind of keep going, and it seems to be that way. Financially
Older.
though, we definitely noticed. Definitely noticed that this one costs a little bit more than the others.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad that that seems to be happening. It seems like we would get bored, so we keep going up as well.
Cool. The show has an undercurrent of conspiracy and malaise. Should we be worried?
I don't want to say. I don't think so.
Spoilers.
I don't think
Spoilers.
so. Well, somebody said on Reddit because that somebody made an r/frailing eyes, and somebody said this is definitely an ARG, and everyone laughed because they were like, "There's no way Logan knows what that is," and I
Actually,
don't.
do you know, I need reminding what an ARG is.
It's
That's
something I've already forgotten, but a lot of people were like, "I hope this is an ARG," um, and just other like waiting for the horror to kick in. And I think my favorite comment on the first episode was like, "It's like the creators of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared decided not to traumatize us or something."
I saw that. Yeah. Saw
There
that.
are theories though that I have. We are aware that there is going to be like running like it is episodic, but there are things that are going to run through each episode and escalate more and more. And there are certain elements. What was the word someone said to me the other day? They said like, "Is this lore or something?" Uh,
Law. Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, there's lore in the show for sure." So,
Just
um,
some of the things Grandpa says in the first episode, and kind of the song, your song at the end of the first episode. There's kind of this.
yeah,
It's almost this toxic positivity about we can't talk about. It's like not bringing it with a family. We don't talk about.
yes,
Yeah, that's I'm trying to deduce. You know, is that
I think
there are hints.
right. And I think that that stems from we are sharing, we're trying to preserve our planet and we're sharing ourselves. And we, like anyone, when you go on a first date, you want to make yourself look good. You want to present yourself in the most positive light. And so that's what Earth is doing just on a massive scale. They're just
Okay.
lying about everything because they want to be remembered as this planet that had it all figured out. and they want to cover up a lot of the inherent issues that we had here. And I want to explore that a little bit more for sure, because I think there's a lot of comedy in that as well as just overall we can you assess yourself differently. Like, damn, okay, that's yeah, that is an interesting thing that when you lie to yourself, like in the way that we did that song, you look at those things differently. So,
Yeah.
but I want to kind of explore more, like maybe there's this sort of as you get to know the aliens, you start to show more about who you are and you get more comfortable. And like a show that's very censored at the beginning of any, and this goes for any show, you get more creative control. And as it goes along, like maybe we can start to sort of really embrace our flaws, the ones that are at least worth embracing.
Okay, nice. That's a nice thank you for the answer. Yeah, yeah, nice. Um, my notes. Do you have any advice to aspiring puppeteers today?
Um, well, the first puppeteer, I think you have to, well, I don't know, it's hard because I am also a shy person, so I'm very empathetic to people who have trouble putting themselves out there. I would say that the internet is a good resource when used correctly. Um, I think that through my show, I've been followed by so many puppeteers. It's actually funny. Someone I someone um, that I liked who did a lot of puppet commentary. Like they just had a YouTube channel. They talk about puppets media. I reached out to them, and
Mhm.
then they happen to have lived in my city, and they happen to have just graduated from Columbia with like a film degree, and are trying to meet people. And so if I hadn't ever sent that message, we wouldn't have linked up. And um, Jackie I knew about through some people in
Yeah,
Chicago. And that one I just emailed her, just said like, "Hey, I'm a stranger, but I love puppets. Would you want to grab coffee sometime?" And she was down, and now look at what we've been able to make together. So
nice, nice.
I think it's about putting yourself out there. I think it's really hard, but I think if you just rip the band-aid, you'll be really glad you did later. And you know, not everything has to be figured out right away, but just take it at
Okay.
one step at a time.
I'm thinking about some of the quotes from the show,
Mm.
things that are sort of stuck in my head. I suppose "It Ain't Easy Being Me" might be one of my favorites. Although I do like the Tammy trio saying humans here on Earth are inherently kind.
Which one's it ain't easy being me? I didn't write
Yeah.
that one. Which one is that one?
What the
It ain't easy being me. Did you say
I
something?
think it's the laptop. It's you
That's right. That's right.
after
Yep.
the song.
Yep.
Do
Yep. I like that one too.
you have a favorite quote that you
Maybe when Grandpa tells Spoon to calm down.
I watched all the episodes again last night and I noticed that the human hand that
Yes.
came in, that's something I only clocked
Spoon,
this
yeah.
time.
Spoon of Many Talents is great. Um, oh God.
Ditto,
Yes,
ditto, and
Ditto's a
yeah.
great one. Almost everything Spoon says, probably.
Oh.
Um, yeah, I also really like Do you have any siblings? I like that one a lot.
Ah, that was going to be my wrap up question tonight. Actually, you've
I've always jumped the gun.
Logan. Okay. Do you have
No,
any siblings? Do you have any siblings?
I sure do.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
Uh,
I went on a date like a few nights ago, and they asked me if I had any siblings. Pretty fresh off the bat, like third question. I just kind of like smirked to myself. I mean, it's a
um,
necessary evil. I hate to say it. When the conversation goes wry.
you didn't have to drop and give them 20.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I'll lead on with a. I think I have. I think I have two more questions, and I'll end with a little surprise, I suppose. The fan base has proven to the fan base has proven to be incredibly sweet and supportive. Do you have a message for them all?
That I love them.
Oh,
If they had known the the year that I had leading up to dropping the first episode and how much craziness led up to that piece of just 10 minutes that ended up on YouTube. Um, that like their support, whether it be like fan art or just watching
yeah,
it,
yeah,
has been it's changed everything for me.
yeah. There's
Um,
not an ounce of toxicity in
there's
the
really
fan.
not. It's like a very wholesome
Yeah,
community. Everyone that I've been able to talk to and people I've been able to meet, aside from you, like outside of like people have messaged me on Instagram and people want to talk art and I love talking about art and they'll give me their ideas for stuff they want to work on and I'll give them my ideas and it's just nice to like meet people in that way and it is a very wholesome community and I want to keep it that way. I
it's
love and I just
it's refreshing. It,
it's pinched me for sure. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but I'm glad that they're here.
oh, that's nice. That's quite humbling. That's very sweet to hear you say that as the creator and yeah,
I mean
that's
it.
very
I
nice to.
really do.
Okay. Well, I suppose the last question was going to be, do you have any siblings?
Oh,
But
I
there, but that,
ruined it. We
it's
can edit it.
okay.
We can edit. They don't have to
That's the,
know. I'll do a big laugh.
if you could, but this will be the wrap up and then the end. If you could say one, if you could say one thing to an alien, what would it be?
How's it going?
Okay.
What's up? Or I would just put headphones on them and just be like, I'm about to blow your mind. Just play a
A
little
John Denver
John
live
Denver.
from.
They're just like swaying.
If I was asked that, I made a note last night. I would put, if the aliens were meat eaters, I would say we are not tasty. I don't know why.
That's
I
a
don't know
good
why.
one.
I
That's a
don't
good
know why
one.
I don't know why I put that in.
Yeah,
That's just kind of a yeah. I put that bizarrely. I was late last night, and
I think that's a good point. I hope they're not. Um, it's
do you think
possible.
there is sort of? Do you think there is sort of? Maybe we'll go into like X-Files territory now, but do you think there is sort of more out there? Do you think there's
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't make this
even,
show if I didn't believe that.
even just bacteria? Even just
Yeah,
little little
there's
things that just
there is yeah. I don't know what it is or what it looks like, but it exists and it exists in masses.
okay. Okay, right. Well, I suppose the last, those are all my questions, but the last thing I had is this this is I suppose I would call this a puppet.
Yeah.
This is from yeah, well, yeah, I mean, as opposed to it not being a this is I thought of a name recently, this like Rooney, it's a kangaroo. This was
Mm.
from Australia in 2002, and it's not really, it's been in my brother's old room for many years, and it's not really, it's not really a kind of a thing I've engaged with. But I suppose more recently, I'm thinking of a performance piece, maybe a video, and maybe thanks to you, maybe the dedication is there,
I know I
Logan. And yeah, I mean the mouth doesn't move, but the this is not
you don't need
dissimilar
them
to
out. You don't need it, you know.
this is not dissimilar to sort of Sooty. I don't know if you know what your knowledge of British puppetry is. Sooty was a very acclaimed yellow sort of bear type
Mhm.
puppet, and I do recall
Oh,
I
this one.
I do recall that the villain of the show was called Butch. I don't know why. As a child, I was sort of
Very
terrified
villainous
of
name. I
this.
mean,
It was so he sort of had fang teeth, and
Mhm.
I vividly remember nightmares having nightmares about this puppet, and I can't honestly say that's something that's sorry,
Yeah.
that's something that hasn't. Yeah, that's something that happened a long time ago, and I can't say I've ever had nightmares about another puppet.
Hmm.
But yeah, this is kind of, I'm wanting really, I'm wanting to.
Yeah.
I've got ideas.
You should pursue them. You definitely should.
I,
That's
I,
awesome.
there's a lot of you'll see what I upload to the channel I'm on. There'll be a lot of there's a lot of video work and then performance stuff in Bristol. I'm actually born on keeping with American themes. I'm actually born on the 4th of July, and this year being the inauguration, this year being the 250th, I wanted to
Hmm. I
try and
definitely
work
do
on
that.
try and work on something very subversive, provocative, and all right, ballsy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that'll
the only
I've,
way to do it. I say go for it.
as well as working on the questions last night. I was also thinking of my own. I was thinking of Charles Ives, the American composer, and something very,
Mhm.
something very.
Yeah.
After the last week we've had, and yeah, it's gonna, the audience will be dazed and confused, and that I
Good.
wouldn't have it any other way, really. My
Yeah,
my
good.
more recent work has proven that, and yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. So will you use that puppet then?
I not for the American piece, but I think it'll be its own. Because it's still got the tag on.
Yeah.
It'll be its own piece. Probably something in the later in the year, because I'm
Mhm.
thinking of the place I show video and do performances. I think it's his 25th anniversary, so that's going to be something quite special.
Yeah.
And in Bristol, if I don't think you visited Bristol when you were here. Were
Mm.
you? Okay. You need to come. You need to come over.
I would love to.
We need an interview. I would pitch myself. I think I might need to work on some of my interview questions and things. I haven't done an interview like this for a couple of years, so you may
Yeah.
have to bear with me. And
I thought you did great. I thought you did great. And it's just good to talk to you. It's good to talk with
thank you.
someone you feel comfortable around.
It's rare that I've had a correspondence with someone online on YouTube for so long, and yeah, it's been very nice, and I do really appreciate the time. I know the fans will appreciate this as well, so I'd like anyone that does watch this, I would greatly, appreciate their
Yeah. Well, this is
support.
my
And
first Brantley and I's interview.
I was going to ask you that actually. I was going to ask, was this your first? There's the answer, and
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think according to this, there's 9 minutes left. Yeah, pretty content, Logan,
Yeah.
and that's going to be probably nearly an hour of
Hmm.
content. I'll edit on the weekend and maybe next week, and I'll uh, I'll definitely yeah, I'll definitely
Hmm.
sorry. Rooney came back. What can I say? Rooney.
Yeah, I mean, I love Rudy doesn't have to go anywhere.
This is yeah, this in very good condition. Almost years. Bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Logan, I'd like to thank you for the time, and thank you for connecting to your part of Zoom.
Yeah. Well, thanks for reaching out and thanks for, being a supporter and let's just keep in
Oh no,
touch.
I did put it on my For Alien Eyes Only was in my top picks of 2025. I was on Facebook because
Mhm.
I'm a boomer, but I'm an old man, and I put it on Facebook, my favorite of the year, things of the year, and
Oh, nice. Well, thank you.
film, theatre, music, YouTube, and
I appreciate that.
when can we see the fifth episode? When are we realistically?
Ooh, that's a good question because there's never a schedule. We always finish one, and then rather than resting, I say, "Oh, they're gonna forget about us." So we start working on another. And I think probably like late Feb, early March. I would guess.
Late February, March for
Yeah. But
The fifth installment.
it'll be worth the wait, I promise. It'll be quite good.
Well, I was amazed how much longer the fourth episode, double the length in
I think this will be similar length.
okay, with the
So
beer callers, the barbershop quartet beer callers.
yeah,
Um,
that's just a small part of a large experience.
I'm already. Where's the mug from, Logan? Where's the mug from?
I think it's from Amazon. Amazon or eBay. Probably Amazon's not a fun answer, so I'm gonna say eBay because that's where I get most of my stuff.
Yeah, let's say eBay. That's a safe bet, really, isn't it?
Yeah. What
Give
is
the
Amazon? I've never even used that.
Amazon. What's
Is it it's like Target?
we don't have Target in the UK. I don't think.
That's
No.
right. I
Oh, I
would
did
never
see.
say the UK is missing out on anything that America is because I've been to the UK and I love it. Um, and there's a lot of stuff in America that you guys don't need. But I think a Target would do quite well there.
I did see someone in Bristol the other month. There was a trend. People were going around with Trader Joe bags.
Hmm.
And I did see it was like almost a bit of a meme. It was, it was Labubu, it was
Yeah.
Dubai chocolate, it was the Starbucks honey glass. And I did
Yeah.
clock a guy that had the Trader Joe. And I was like,
Trader
oh, so
Joe.
that,
I'm a Trader Joe
yeah.
hater.
Ah, okay. It's, I've no knowledge of, I think there might
And
be
I'm
one.
the minority there. I think a lot of people like Trader Joe's, but there's something about there's evil in those walls, I'm telling you.
If I listen, if I ever do come back to the States, I mean, that may or may not be
Well,
soon, but
yeah.
I've been wanting to for a long time. Even just haven't traveled, even just to Europe for 10 years. That's something I'm trying to work on. But I would very much like to see more of America. And yeah, I've only done Florida. I would very much like to the joy of
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, if you're ever in Chicago, let me know.
the
Uh,
Windy City.
yeah, don't come this time of the year.
Oh God, I don't think I could handle it. Honestly, I think
No.
I'd really struggle. It's okay here, but
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get too cold there. I noticed that when I was there because I was there through the whole winter. I was
you
there
get it
for,
worse. You get it
yeah,
so much worse.
but your perception of cold for me was like everyone was freezing, but I was like, it ain't that bad. So I was like, I that's another reason I'd love to live in the UK just because the coldest it gets for me, I'm like, I can do this.
Well, we had issues the other week. I was supposed to travel to London, and they said, "Oh, we may or may not cancel the trains." So, these have cost enough. I can't technically get a refund. You need to say because leaving Wales was fine, but it
Yeah.
was going into England and just trying. We don't get it as bad as you, but this country gets snow. I'm not going to
Yeah.
bore you with, yeah, yeah, it's,
I know.
oh,
I know.
okay.
All right,
Cool.
well,
Okay. Well, the timer is 4 minutes, but if you wouldn't mind sending me this, um,
yeah,
I'm
definitely.
just trying to transfer, or I'm trying to think of
We
the
transfer,
quickest
did you
way.
say? I have
We,
we
yeah,
Yeah, I can do that. It might show up on yours if you also hit record. So if it
I think
doesn't,
I did.
let
I
me
did. It
know.
would
And
seem so.
if it doesn't, I'll email. I'll we transfer it to you.
Cool. Okay. Logan Ludwig, thank you very much for putting up with me.
And a pleasure.
This has been fun. Thank you for thank you for the time, and
Yeah.
thank you for the show. I think a lot of people are. I'm recommending it to friends. It is something I've kept very almost to myself for a while. I've almost hoarded it, but now it's time for
It is
me
a
because
healthy gatekeeping period in the beginning, right?
some of the best things I listen to and watch are kind of things. But this, what you've created is love and so special. Um, it's so special that it needs to be. I've told friends on Facebook today, and they said they want to check it out, and I'll see them right, of course.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Cool,
That means a lot. It's good to
cool.
share it. It's ours, it's not mine. That's the other thing I'd love to say to the fans is it's not mine and it's not theirs, it's ours.
Hours, yeah.
So that can be my closing remarks, perhaps.
Oh,
I feel that deeply. Like that was the thing when it took off. I noticed that it quickly stopped being mine, and then it quickly became ours. And then they play as much of a role in
Yeah,
it as I do. So
that's
something we all
yeah,
share, you know?
fair enough. Okay.
So
Cool. Okay, Logan, I'd like to thank you very much for the
yeah,
time and thanks for the thank you for filming the second half
yeah, of
of this
course.
of this interview, and
Yeah.
I appear to have filmed as well, and yeah, that's it. With 2 minutes on the clock. I doubt very much I'll be getting Zoom Premium, but
Yeah. Don't
we
cave.
I think we managed to
Yeah.
work this out. And yeah, thank you very much. It's been the correspondence has been great,
Yeah.
and I
Thank
look
you.
forward to more. I look forward to. It's very special. It's
Thank
very
you.
special, and I don't say that often about things on YouTube, and it
Well, that means
yeah,
a lot. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, let's keep in touch, you know?
we will.
All right. You have a good weekend then.
Thank you very much. Same to you.
Cheers.